like this. I 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 like this.
Shuck it, duck it. How y'all doing?
Hey guys.
How y'all doing? How you doing, how you doing, First Lady?
What's going on, y'all?
Happy
hump day.
All is well. We got a lot to cover today. Hope y'all got y'all little schedule.
Man, I got this foolishness. I got this foolishness that you're gonna be doing. You know what? I keep saying that I'm gonna start doing this thing again. I'm just trying to.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I don't know what
I'm just trying to figure out time because
it's a lot of work, son.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
It's a lot of work.
I used to do it.
Deidre's there watching all our shows. We appreciate you. We really appreciate you.
Hey, Deidre.
And we are going to get started because I can't wait on everybody else to show up if they're showing. I moved the show from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. I mean, from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, and they still can't get here on time. So we'll go from there, and we're going to make it happen. You know?
Yeah.
We're going to make
They always say the show must go on.
Yes, it do. Yes, it do.
That's it.
Let's get the first one out of the way.
These days, every kid wants to have a cell phone, but cell phones give radiation. And if exposed to too much radiation, you may get a tumor or cancer. Do you know that nowadays kids start using cell phones as early as the age of 5? Now guess what happens to their brains when they use cell phones at such an early age? You get 5 times as much radiation than adults do. The reason it's easier for radiation to reach a kid's brain is because a kid's skull is thinner than an adult skull, which lets a lot more radiation to the brain of a child. When radiation goes through your body, it can kill cells. And if those cells don't heal properly, they might become cancer.
Yeah. So you got to be able to understand that these cell phones ain't no joke. You put them up to your ear all day, and then when you put that little earpiece in your ear, it's giving off some type of radiation also. How is it working? You just got to be something that's not natural that is going into your ear, you know, but we all do it. That's like a drug addict using drugs and not being able to stop. smokers smoking a cigarette and not being able to stop. We can't put these things down. This is our addiction here.
You know what? I may make 2 phone calls a day. And I don't play games on my phone. In fact, I don't have time. At the end of the day, I look at all my emails, my text messages, especially from y'all. You know. But I just don't. When I broke that addiction, that was the best thing. It gave me back a lot more time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I ain't gonna say shit. I got to have mine. You know, it just, matter of fact, I was talking to one of my players and I was like, you know what? I say it's 2 things that's gonna get you not where you're going at. You know, not working hard and that cell phone. You know, that cell phone is addictive. If you're trying to get somewhere, the last thing you need is a cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
But I keep mine on because of my daughter and making sure she know where I'm at, and I'm making sure I know where she at. But far as from 8 to 3, I don't be on it. I just be looking to I be listening to Hot 2100, Savannah in the world.
That's right. You listening to the right stuff, son.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else on that? We're gonna go on to the next one. Best fruits for your health. And y'all listen to this now. This is what y'all gotta start eating.
If you don't like this fruit, you might not like staying fit. The best fruit for liver detox is lemon. The best fruit for blood circulation is pomegranate. The best fruit for stress relief is bananas. The best fruit for lowering cholesterol is avocado. The best fruit for reducing bloating is papaya. The best fruit for controlling blood sugar is strawberries. The best fruit for improving sleep is kiwi. The best fruit for boosting metabolism is grapefruit. The best fruit for balancing hormones is cherries. The best fruit for reducing joint pain is pineapple. The best fruit for healthy hair is guava. The best fruit for lung health is apples. The best fruit for kidney health is cranberries. The best fruit for strengthening immunity is Indian gooseberry. The best fruit for healthy blood pressure is watermelon. The best fruit for glowing eyes is carrots. The best fruit for increasing endurance is dates. The best fruit for reducing migraines is cherries. The best fruit for balancing gut bacteria is pineapple. If you had to survive on just one fruit, what would it be? Comment below.
I don't know what it'll be. I need to eat all those fruits.
Yeah.
I need to be just a fruit man, like Ferrante say. Just eat your fruit.
Yeah.
You don't need nothing else. Just eat your fruit.
But you can find something that have all that in there, right? I mean, you can find just one juice that have all that in there.
I don't know. I don't think they make none that got all of it. No.
A smoothie.
A juice. Are you talking about a juice that they done squeezed all that in?
No, I'm saying you can, like the smoothie shop up here, you can ask them and they put all that in one drop.
Right.
Yeah. Because that's a lot of fruit to be going in there trying to pick it up and Kroger's, and only fruit I got right now is that honey fruit. Man, it's doing a good job.
I ain't say nothing about honey.
There you go. Son, you want that honey?
Nope.
Son said, hell no. Yeah. Hey, Area. Scott. Hey, Diane. Mm-hmm. Well, we're gonna get on to the next one, but y'all get them that fruit. You're gonna need that fruit to live. Now, I'm telling you. You know, you're gonna need that fruit to live. If you don't, then you're gonna be in some bad situations.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They go
so
good.
Share that video.
They go a good sister. I think she was in Atlanta at a restaurant.
Oh, nasty ass food. Then they had the nerve to want I don't give a damn. Had the nerve to put my $4 I had for my cigarettes for tax. I mean, not no tax. Tip. Who told you to take tip out of my money? Like, that was my cigarette damn money.
Well, they should have took the tip for she was going to buy cigarettes with it, but that's what we were talking about last week about the restaurants taking a tip without doing the service. You know, the lady who was saying that nasty ass food, she was saying the food was nasty. You know, so you know, I don't know. You know, you get bad service and then you got to tip somebody that's bad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I went to the Galleria Mall, and you know those upscale restaurants and everything, and the food was just not good. But you had to pay a 20% gratuity. They added it to your thing.
Where was that at?
In Houston.
In Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who? Somebody got a background noise?
That's just the music.
Oh, on the back. Oh, okay. It sounded like a little scratch background noise.
Oh no scratching.
But I mean, Jersey Mike's can turn the little thing around all they want, but they will never get a tip from me. You know.
Yeah, you see how they turn the screen over to you.
All you're doing is making my sandwich. You're not bringing it to my table. Yeah. You're not giving me anything extra. You're just making my sandwich the Mike's way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see if you went through the drive-thru and they brought it out to you. You know.
Yeah.
You mean bringing it out to me. I'm right here. I'm picking it up. Why would I give you a tip?
Yeah. I mean, like those girls at Carrie Hill used to hustle for their money.
Right.
You know, I mean, they give you a little bit of extra, you know, tartar sauce, you know. I mean, they really did.
Yeah. Hey, but this is it. When you don't tip them, then what you doing? You watching to make sure they don't do shit to your food.
Right. Yeah. Like Little Caesar.
Yeah, if you're not serving somebody, you shouldn't even ask for a tip. Period. You shouldn't even ask for a tip if you're not serving them. You standing at the cash register and getting the food out the window and giving it to me, that's not nothing. I'm already paying for that. That is already in there. The price is already marked up for you. There's no reason. All that is the ownership of the restaurant trying to take the load off of them.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. And it shouldn't be. I don't
believe. But the people that make me mad, the customers that make me mad are the DoorDash customers, the Uber Eats customers and stuff. Because when people are bringing you your food and Uber Eats and DoorDash, they do not pay those people enough to be driving damn near 20 miles to bring you 2 damn tacos, you know, and you won't even, I mean, and you know, they do everything that they can to get it to you hot, and you won't even give them the folks $2, $3, you know. Yeah. I mean, it's just shameful. I told my son, I said, you better not move your car not near another day to go Uber eating. You know? Yeah.
If somebody bringing you food, you should tip them. Giving you a ride, the tip is already in there, but they're bringing you your food. Food is one of the craziest thing. I wouldn't tell y'all a food joke right now, but if y'all don't hear from me, that's mean I'm in the hospital. But
me personally, I think, you know, I have to tip them no matter what, because, you know, most of them ain't making no money, so you tip it and keep it moving. Me personally. Now, if you're giving me bad service, now that's a different story. You know, that's a different story. You know, you give me bad service, I'm gonna give you a bad tip. But like I said, I don't really go nowhere that much to a restaurant to do no tipping, because I be more at Cheetah, and I tip them real good, so I ain't complaining. You know, they got good food, good Let me they got good food. Let me put it like
that. Yeah, good food. Just remember the food part.
Yeah, good food.
They give you extra when you go there. My engineer told me she couldn't get this video turned sideways. Let me look at it. This was about y'all might can look at it sideways. I don't know. Let me look.
Why do we have to pay to live on a planet we were born on? Think about it. You didn't sign a contract when you took your first breath. You didn't agree to rent space on Earth. So why does surviving, eating, drinking, having shelter come with a price? And the bigger question is, who are we even paying? Who decided they owned the land, the oceans, the air? Who claimed the resources and said, this is mine, you owe me for existing. Take water, it covers most of the planet, it falls freely from the sky, it's essential for life, and yet people die every day from thirst. We spend billions on war, but say desalination plants are too expensive, the technology exists, we could give fresh water to everyone, but we don't, because if people could meet their own needs, they wouldn't be easy to control. The truth is, scarcity is manufactured. There is enough food, water, land, and resources for everyone. But desperation keeps the system running. It keeps you working, paying, needing. You're not just paying to live, you're paying to stay in your cage. This is just a theory, not a fact.
It's a good theory, though. You know, he made a whole lot of sense.
Yeah. I mean, capitalism and white people decided that land needed to be owned because in the United States, before they came and discovered the United States, the Indians just, they just existed here, and they moved from place to place. Yeah. So, yeah, capitalism, white people.
Well, we hear you, and I mean it's like that all over the globe. When people take land and they start dissecting it and giving pieces to everybody involved. So, it's whoever's in charge.
The colonizers.
Oh, you can call it
the colonizers. We'll just call them the colonizers.
Yeah, and the colonizers are anybody that come over and colonize.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
All right.
Trying to make sure you stay above water here now. Here go your joke. If you want to talk about white people, here you go.
If you're black and you want to talk shit, all you do is you look at somebody, you say exactly what they look like, and then at the end of that you go, looking ass. It's so easy, man. It's simple as pie. Young sees candy lady looking ass. Oh, Moby looking ass, the musician. Does his own taxes looking at. It's so easy. It's happened to me too, bro. I had a black dude, he walked right past me and he goes, you fucking orchestra conductor looking at. You got the joke? I didn't even get the joke. Bro, I didn't get that joke till about 8 hours later. Dog, 8 hours later, I'm brushing my teeth. I'm in the mirror about to go to bed. I said, he's good. This guy's good. I look like every orchestra can. You know who I'm talking about. Look, that guy, biggest bullshit job in the history of jobs. How do we let that guy do that? Band's been playing their instrument for 30 years. 30 years the guy's been playing his instrument. You're telling me if we didn't have this guy, the violin guy would be like, I
don't know what to do. Yeah, see, and we do say that a whole lot. We look at somebody and say, Julie, Mongo Congo looking ass. I always put looking ass on the end of it, and that's how we describe everything. We got a way of expressing things, but people steal everything that we do. Everything we do is just being stolen.
Yeah. And that's the crazy part is that they'll steal it, but they don't say where it come from. You know where it come from.
But he just said where it came from.
And the only comedian I watch right now, man, y'all got to watch. I'm telling you, he was in Atlanta, Georgia. That Cat Williams. Y'all can bring in.
Oh my God, I love Cat.
Cat.
We gonna be at the concert here on May 2nd with Cat, Bernard.
And Cat will have you, man, off your feet, man. He laughing because he's already 4'4", and then he be like hitting it, man. It was so packed that, man, they had to give. I have never seen a comedian, trust me, I have never seen one comedian where they had to book 5 shows just to get everybody in, period. What's up, Jay Jones?
I promise you that it seemed like every 4 months he is here in Houston, and he's here for at least 2 to 3 days.
Yeah.
And he packs out every
and
show.
He gives. He's a giver. He gives me so much. That's what I like about Cat Williams. He gives. And we're going to see him on May 2nd, I believe it is. I believe it's May 2nd.
I love Cat.
May 2nd. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Come on here. We're going to be we got tickets in the booth, I believe. Up there. We had with some friends that had a booth and they were selling the tickets. I think the tickets were like, damn, $190 a piece.
Yeah.
I don't pay that much money to see nobody that I can't see on TV, but hey,
I'll wait to see.
It's Cat, so I like Cat.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it. Trust me.
It goes some philosophy for y'all.
Our tickets are much cheaper.
It goes some philosophy for you, Chandra.
At the house I used to live in, there was a dog that would always chase my car. And he'd be chasing and biting at my tires every day. And one day I decided that I'd had enough of him. So I stopped and put my window down, took my belt off. I wanted him to get close enough to my car for me to give him some understanding. And this is what I noticed. When I stopped, he stopped. And I looked at him and he looked at me. And I looked at him and he looked at me. And then he just went on into the yard. As if he was saying to me, all I was trying to do was make you stop. You ever notice that dogs don't bark at parked cars? They only bark when you're moving. Have you ever noticed that people don't talk when you're doing nothing? They only talk when you're doing something. Have you ever noticed that when your life is upwardly mobile and progressive, haters start coming from everywhere? It's because hate is attracted to great. But what you got to do is make sure that you don't get so overwhelmed and distracted by the hate that you abort the great. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Let folks say what they want to say. Let them keep barking. Let them keep talking. But while they're talking, you keep walking. Because your mission is too great. Your assignment is too big. Your purpose is too powerful for you to allow people to distract you and get you off course. Hate is always attracted to great. So if ain't nobody talking about you, it's probably because you ain't doing nothing worth talking about. Keep going. Let the dogs bark. God bless.
There you go. Touchdown.
Keep going. Let the dogs bark. Hate.
There you go.
Hate is attracted to great.
That's it. We were talking about that earlier, Drew.
Yeah.
We were talking about that earlier.
Somebody hating.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. And it's like, I don't really. We like this. We don't care what you. When you talking about us, that means we doing something. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because if ain't nobody talking about you, that means you ain't doing nothing.
That's correct.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like this him. You ain't gonna hurt my feeling. You ain't gonna hurt my feeling if you walk past me and don't say anything. You ain't gonna hurt my feeling. You know what I'm saying? And you got a lot of people always want to blow their home, but they ain't got shit in their home to blow. Ain't doing nothing for nobody but running the damn mouth.
Your mic went bad, Bernard. Bernard, your mic went out. Bernard, your mic out. Sandra.
Huh?
Bernard, your mic is out. Bernard, we can't hear you.
Go on to the next thing.
I am. I gotta make sure he refresh and come back. Refresh and come back. We're gonna go on to the next thing. I wanted to hear this too, though. Can you hear us, Bernard? Refresh. Anytime this happens, always refresh your phone, people. Or refresh whatever that you're on. You must be on the phone.
I don't know.
Bernard, you on the phone? You on the phone? Yeah, now when he come back, it'll be on. Automatically just go to refresh and it'll come back on. Somebody probably called and then you send them to voicemail. It's still gonna knock your stuff out. That's why I don't like doing it. That's why I don't do it on the phone ever. I won't even do the show if I'm on the phone.
Yeah, me either.
Okay, let's get on to the next one. And I was waiting to see whether he'd come back.
There's a couple in our church in New Orleans that most people would consider the odd couple. This is why. She is a medical doctor. He is a construction worker. She works in the hospital with patients all day. He works in building houses and buildings. And someone asked her, how could she submit to a man who made substantially less money than she did? And like a grown woman, get what she said. She said, I have never judged my husband by the size of his purse or his pocket, but rather by the size of his purpose in my life, by the size of his passion for me. She says, I've never judged him by what he had in his pocket, but rather what he had in his heart. She said, yeah, that's true. I make probably 6 times the money my husband makes. My husband has never been able to match my money, but guess what? He has always been able to match my grind. She says, I have never found myself trying harder than him. I have never found myself working harder than him. I have never found myself loving harder than him. And that's why I'm able to submit and call this man who works in construction my husband. She said to me, she said, Pastor, my husband is not a man in my house. He is the man of my house because he's earned that position. I want to tell you, a lot of folk are missing great people because you're so busy looking at money, you forget about meaning. You're so busy looking at pocket and purse that you forget about purpose. Listen, you will always be able to find somebody that can afford you. But you know what the hard thing is? Finding somebody that has the capacity to value you. Because a person can afford you and still be disrespectful. A person can afford you and still talk down to you. A person can afford you and still misuse you. But when they value you, you've found a gem. Listen, don't you miss a dollar because you're chasing dimes. Dimes always shiny, and we love the shine. Well, he has this or she has that. Dollars are not as pretty, but guess what? They hold more value. Choose folk that have value, not just folk who have shine.
That was a powerful message. Powerful message. You don't have to worry about what your spouse or your other significant other is making if they have purpose in your life. And that's all you want them to do is match that purpose, match that passion, match that consistency, match that love. If they are doing that, there's no reason for you to be their chaos. Be my peace. I don't need nobody to be my chaos.
Yeah. Hello, beautiful Nelly. How you doing?
I'm better now.
You was sick?
No, I was cutting the grass and something with it. Wear safety glasses when you are.
Oh yeah, I had something that hit me like yesterday. I was doing my grass.
Yeah.
It hit me in the eye. Natalie, you want to speak to this before I speak to it?
Well, I'll say this. I like to have conversations like that with grown folk. And I understand what the pastor was saying and the point it was a powerful message. I didn't disagree with it. It's just, I'm tired. Certain words trigger me. And relationships aren't playing go fish. This ain't about matching. This is about complimenting. I definitely don't need my significant other to match my crazy. I need them to complement my crazy. I need them to complement the purpose. They need to complement my purpose, and I need to complement their purpose. But it's not a match game. This is not equal. This isn't 1 + 1 = 1, 2 = 2. That's not what the relationships are about. So, that's just my 2 cents on it.
Well, my 2 cents on it is this. I'm a daughter of God. I'm a born again, Bible toting, tongue talking Christian. So if I'm going to submit to anyone, I have to submit to somebody that his heart and his head is in God. Okay? Because can 2 walk together unless they agree? No. So recently, y'all know I was dating. And I was dating the perfect guy. He checked all the boxes, except he meditated. When I was like, what's your belief? I'm spiritual. I meditate. And I believe in submitting to my husband, but I submit to my husband as he submits to God. And I never saw in the Bible other than meditate in the word, that's all I saw, So if I don't know who you meditating to, and we ain't never prayed together a day in our relationship, which was 4 months, I gave him time to show me. Cause I mean, brother was stepping up for real, buying me gifts that I didn't even know I wanted. For real. I mean, he was so loving, but because his head wasn't in God, he was drawing me further. He was drawing me away from my first love. And my first love is God. You know, so about 3 weeks ago, when I cut my hair, I cut him. Okay?
Well, Sandra. Did you go yet, Bernard?
I ain't went yet. You want to go to
Well, I want to address my sister.
Go ahead.
What makes you think that the Bible that your enslavers gave you is the Bible is the only God that is supposed to be worshipped? Hold on. Let me finish. He is talking to the same God that you worship. It ain't but one God. He's just getting to him a different way than you are. So you're going to say that a man that is spiritually connected to God has to follow you.
Julius, I'm going to tell you this. Had I not had encounters with God, I'm talking about on my deathbed, God, in the shelter where I was homeless, God, when I lost my job and with General Dynamics, and somebody called me the same day that I was losing my job, and I got a job with NASA.
God, yeah, we got that. We got all that.
So I cannot deny the power.
Ain't nobody denying.
But what I can tell you is that me and this guy, we never prayed together. All he wanted to do is have sex. And if
he checked all the boxes.
But he checked all of the regular human boxes. But if God says that he will send you blessings without sorrow.
And he sent it to you and you didn't recognize.
No, sir.
You created your own sorrow.
What he will not do is he's not going to send me somebody that's going to draw me from him.
How did that man draw you from him? That man was
that's going to draw me from him.
Listen, that guy was praying to the same God you pray to.
He wasn't. He was meditating.
No, you want that man to follow your Bible. You want to be the man of the house.
No, I don't.
Yes.
But I need to know.
That's the problem with most of y'all these days. Y'all want to run the damn house. That man is spiritual and he believe in God. That's all the hell you needed.
He didn't tell me that. He said
you ain't gave him chance. You
Tell
told him
me,
he needed.
I gave him 4
you told him he needed.
months. I gave him 4 whole months. And you know what he told me? He said, I'll go to church to support you. I don't need no support going to my father.
Oh, have mercy.
Support going to my God. What are you talking about, sir?
You in there.
Boy, please.
Right.
Child rest.
You lost. I tell you, the man say you don't know a blessing when you see one.
Well, you know what?
The man was there. God sent him to you, but you think that the only way to you is through your Bible.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this.
Keep looking for him.
If I had not had
looking for that guy coming with the Bible and gonna knock on your damn door. That's the one gonna beat your ass. That's the one gonna that's the one that's gonna treat you like a dog, ain't gonna bite you nothing, ain't gonna care about you.
No, it's not.
Looking for
because God has sustained me in every season of my life.
He has
And he's
sustained
not
all
going-
of us. We're still here.
He's
Look at
not
all
going
of us.
to
We-
send
we-
me somebody.
You don't think I'm
that
a
is
walking
going
miracle?
to-
You don't
to
think
take
I'm a
me
walking
from
miracle?
him.
You don't think I'm a walking miracle?
I know you are, Julian.
Oh, okay. So don't you can't tell me it's just about you.
But just like I said, he's not going to send me somebody that's going to take me from him.
The
Bernard,
guy never came. The guy told you he's gonna be supportive. The guy never told you, let me get you out of that and bring you over here. That's not his purpose. His purpose is to find God the way that he knows how. Your purpose is to find God that you. There's 3 or 4 things that you look for all your life.
But can
Hold on.
two walk together unless they agree?
Sandra.
Oh, okay.
Sandra.
I rest my case.
You can agree
Bernard,
with
go.
He was looking for money. He found you.
He was a counterfeit.
Oh Lord.
He was a counterfeit. He was a counterfeit. Bernard, go.
Hey, I'm gonna say this, man. Sometimes people need to watch what they ask God for. Because at the end of the day, you get it, and then now you want to blame God. No, you better watch what you're asking for now. No, I'm just saying me. I'm like this here. I'm like, you know what? I'm locking and popping and have fun. Like I say, I ain't gonna never get married no more. I've been married and been one for 40 years. So my thing is this: I already know who's the head of my life. Period. I'm not asking God to send me nobody at the end of the day. I just want to have fun. We're gonna get along. If this woman bring peace in my life, then we good. But if you bring in drama and stress, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. And I'm not going judge anybody on who they praying for or anything like that. Everybody have their own way of praying, and if they're going to meditate or whatever, they can do all that. But you know, sometime in life, you can run a man and a woman out your life because you're not trying to, you know, how they always say, 50. No. I don't get in all that 50. Hey, bring peace and we're going to be okay. I don't need no woman to do nothing for me but love me. That's it. I don't need a woman to bring me no finance. I don't bring. If the only thing you bring into my table is some P-Valley, you don't need to be sitting at that table. Trust me, you know. And that's why I'm still single, and that's why I'm just gonna lock it and pop it and be me, and everybody have their own way of serving God. But I know for a fact God will always be number one in my life, and you know I only listen to 2 people now, God and my daughter. That's it. I don't listen to nobody else, because nobody else. I don't think nobody else can give you that true dedicated love but God and your kids, period.
And that's right.
Your kids gonna love you no matter what. Even if we get on them, your kids is unconditional love. I don't need nobody to come in my life fake love. See, one thing about it is these kids around here, and I call them kids, girls, they look to see what you can give them. That's it. That's all. Their first name is Cash App. The second name is Apple Pay. And the third name is Zelle. That's all they want. Yeah. And my name is, I am not Wells Fargo. I am not Bank America. I am not Wachovia. I ain't none of that shit for you. So if you looking for something, if you're looking for a sugar daddy, you better go to Kroger's and get a bag of sugar, because your damn sure ain't getting it from me. Period.
No,
But when I started fasting, this is how I knew, Julius, you know, because you asked God, is this what you have for me? And I fasted, and God kept telling me, cut off that, because I have something far greater. I knew he wasn't for me because he was drawing me further from my father.
Sandra.
I'm telling you.
Son, you say I just heard you say he checked all the boxes.
He checked all of the mortal boxes. He bought me gifts. He hung around. You know, he said,
how many bosses you got? How many bosses you got?
He never beat me or anything like all the other guys, you know, but he didn't check the main box. And that's the God box.
Yeah.
We never prayed together. And if you go into church only because you coming to support me, nigga.
Yeah. What? Yeah. But I'm like yourself. We don't have to pray together. Let's lay together. You know.
But if us laying together causes me to sin.
So did you lay with him?
And I did. And I was the one carrying the guilt because he wasn't carrying guilt because he doesn't pray to the same God. He just meditates.
Sandra, you can't use piece of the Bible and not use all of it. Okay?
Yeah.
That was the thing. Just like I told him, I said, listen, I don't want to have sex with you because it's going to be good and I'm going to cut you off. That's what I told him from the very beginning. But he thought that, oh, I'm going to be so good. And, you know, I'm going to be so good that you're going to want to do this.
Yeah. Was he good? Was he good, Sonia?
Oh, he was excellent.
Okay.
But just like I say, my God is excellent to me.
So Sonia, I understand. So Sonia, let me ask you a question, Sonia. Let me ask you a question. So the guy, he checked all your boxes. He had good sex, all that. The only problem that you and him have that y'all wasn't serving the same God.
Nope. And see, I knew that because he was talking about marriage.
There's somebody rocking my world, and it's good. I don't care what God you serving, long you keep on rocking my world.
No, sir. Because he was talking about marriage. And I knew as a woman of God that he would be the man that I would have to submit to. And if I have to submit to you, where are you leading me?
Yeah. How you done, Sonia, how, first of all, how you didn't know that God, that's the man God sent you to. That's the man that God sent you.
God is not going to send me to a man that's going to take me away from him.
The man wasn't taking you away. You was wrong.
What you mean about take out? I'm confused, son. What you mean about
not going to take?
What you mean by taking?
God's not going to send a man into my life that's going to say, "Well, you don't have to go to church today. Why you go to church so much? What?"
That's what he was saying. He was saying that.
Yes.
And what your response was?
Because I love my God. Because He's.
You don't have to go to church to see God. What's wrong with you people?
Yeah,
sir.
Yeah.
Sir.
God all over.
God.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to go to church to see no God. I don't know what's wrong with you people. Y'all keep thinking that y'all going to them houses full of sins with every sinner in the world around you, the pastor, the worst person in the damn church, and you talking about you in the house of God. You in the house of God where you at right now. The house of God is right here in your chest, in your heart, in your mind. And you talking about the man meditating gonna take you away. That man is more spiritual than anybody in your church.
But when
you want to connect to the Bible.
Listen to this. When the Bible talks about fornication.
Stop telling me about the Bible.
Okay.
Tell me about your relationship with God.
Okay. So,
that's all I need to hear about.
So when I can't even pray in my house, okay? In my house, we're not even talking about going to church because I do have a personal relationship with God that I have had for a long time. So when I can't pray the way I used to and commune with God because I'm practicing sin. And I know that God gives us grace and mercy every day. I could say, hey, God, forgive me for all my sins. But if I'm practicing every morning, getting my junk licked and, writing some stuff every afternoon, And
are you controlling? Are you controlling? It sound to me, Sonya, and you a girl and I love you. It sound to me, it's like most of, I probably gonna get some crap on this, but most of us, us black women, y'all very controlling. Y'all very, yes, y'all want to control everything. You want to control the money. You want to control the honey. You want to control when we go to church. You want to control when we wash. You want to control when we cook. You want to control when we go to the y'all are too controlling. And I'm talking about, listen, I'm talking about the young, the old. This young lady told me, I was like, baby, what you want me to do? She said, I want you to follow my lead. What I'm gonna follow your lead and you just getting out the damn crib? What do you mean I'm gonna follow? I'm a grown damn man. You don't need to tell me to follow your lead. See, y'all teach them this. Y'all too controlling. I'm like this here. I don't need no mama. Rest in peace, mama. I don't need no more mama. Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me, baby, I think you need to come over and put it right here. You don't tell me I know where to put it.
Listen. I was not controlling, but I feel like if you have to compromise who you are to be in a relationship, then that's not your relationship. Because all I can tell y'all is that this man, he really,
bring him on the show. Give me his number so he can come on the show and explain this up. Give me his number.
And then he's mad now because he was the one that said, I don't think that we're for each other. And I just smiled because I had just come off my 8-day fast. And I said, you're right. And I had just cooked for him and everything. And I told him, I said, you're right. I said, this is probably gonna be our last.
Yeah.
But I didn't control.
No. You was controlling. You told the man it was going to be his last dinner. You didn't say, let's sit down and let's talk about this here.
Yeah.
You tried to come to a compromise. We
had already been talking about it for the last 4 months.
No, you probably were talking to Eddie. I
said, I cannot live.
Cousin.
No, she said,
cannot live.
Not all women are controlled.
No, not all women are controllable. But I'm saying not all women are controllable, but you got some of them is like Sonya. If that's what it sounds like, I'm saying it sounds like, you trying to control this man. And why couldn't you just let the man just be himself?
Right.
Sir.
And being political correct.
I wanted him to be himself, but I wanted him to be himself by himself. Okay? and
so both of y'all by yourself.
Listen.
You're going to drive me and Natalie to drinking.
I didn't grow up meditating. I grew up in prayer. I grew up in church. I grew up understanding what my role with God was and what God expected. I want to be in God's will. Okay? I want to be in his will. I don't give a damn about being in a man's will.
Son, you got to cross that river by yourself. Nobody else can take you across that. You worrying about his salvation. You're not his pastor. He gonna get his. You worry about yours.
But what about respect? What about respect?
Let me say that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Natalie.
Let me say this. I love you dearly, sis. But if it's good that you're not in the relationship with him because you wasn't feeling him like that in the first place. And the reason I'm going to tell you that is because if you was feeling him like that, you could have simply looked at this man and said, he's on a journey just like everyone else. All of us have gone on a journey to get to some form of relationship with the God to whom we serve. So you could have been the person who might have led him even further on the journey, but you would have only thought you to be that person if you was really vibing with him. So if and the other point, just to make it kind of plain on both ends of what was said earlier, if y'all already crossed the line and jumped into bed together, and if he didn't have you hollering for who you serve, and if you didn't have him calling you mama, y'all wasn't supposed to be together anyway. I'm
telling you,
I don't know. I might be
wrong. Natalie, when I tell you that I have never, I'm telling you, I have never in my 54 years had anything close to it. Nothing close to it. But I knew that I said, you know what? This guy is a counterfeit. Because he was so good that it had to be that.
But God already told you he has greater.
Yeah.
But God
don't settle for less.
But God had already told me.
Yeah. And that's why hey, Sonia, he rocked your world so good that you had to wear those green fingernails on the show.
I'm having them changed this week for Easter.
I just want to ask you one question. God told you he had you greater coming. Did he tell you when he gonna give it to you?
No.
Oh,
but
okay.
That's what faith is. Faith is believing that
54 now. We gonna ask you that question.
I'm telling you.
Sonia, you
it's
a girl,
not
right?
gonna be hard. I'm telling you, it's not
Sonia.
going to be hard. And dealing with this guy, it was hard because I had to carry every time we were intimate. I had to carry the guilt.
What kind of gift you was carrying? Ain't nobody, trust me, if somebody making me call Jesus Christ, Lord have mercy, ain't gonna be no guilt. Hey, Sonia, I'm gonna wait for about a good another hour, and then after I done revved up, and then we going back at it again.
And then when the night over, you gonna tell her, I think I love you.
I'm in love. If you are a child of God,
hey, come on!
I'm a child of God.
But
listen.
If you are, let me close this one. If you was a child of God, you would have been sleeping with him in the first place.
Right.
Compromise myself in the first place.
Next subject.
Compromise
myself
in the first place. So
you gonna call him back?
Guilt.
You gonna call him back?
Guilt after guilt.
You gonna call him back, Sonia? You gonna call him back?
I could not even raise my hands when it was
you
time
gonna call him back?
Sonia,
you gonna call him back?
Sonia gonna come back out here next week talk about them young your
You already say.
Nope.
You already say he's the top 1-2. I knew you gonna call him back.
I will not. It's already been 3 weeks.
You rock your world so much that you cut your hair.
It's been 3 weeks. It's been 3 weeks.
Well, we need to move on because we done had this one.
I got pee.
Let's get up. Let's get. We 1 hour and no break. Let's get a break.
say I wouldn't make it, but it's happening quick. Hating on me now.
Hello, world. We're here, serving Savannah, Atlanta, Jacksonville, Brooklyn, Houston, Philadelphia, Los Angeles, and the world. The best music all the time. The greatest songs ever made, every time. Tune in to Hot 2100 Savannah and get a taste for your ears. Hot 2100 Savannah, serving Savannah and the world.
Savannah, are you looking for some of the best Southern soul food? Then check out Kim's Cafe at 714 MLK Boulevard. The food is so good, you'll think that your mother cooked it. Located in the heart of Savannah, Kim's has a menu that includes breakfast anytime, lunch when you need it, and dinner so you won't have to cook when you get home. They also cater all types of events and can host your reserved event at the restaurant. Come see what everyone has been raving about. Great food, great atmosphere, and a great time. Kim's Cafe, 714 MLK Boulevard in beautiful downtown Savannah. All right. Let's get on to our next thing. Y'all try to be a little bit shorter now.
Yes, sir. We in deep conversation.
Yeah, we don't need those. Yeah. You're right. I'm gonna have to just put down one subject.
Was it good to you?
And was.
Let us sing a song of cheer again. Happy days are here again. All together, shout it now. There's no one who can shout it now. Oh, let's tell the world about it now. Happy days are here again. Your cares and troubles are gone. No more from now on. Happy days are here again. The skies above are clear again. Let us sing a song of cheer again. Happy days are here again.
I love it.
That's what it's going to end up being. They right here begging for something. Trump going to show them just what they got.
Look, China already made it very clear. We was here before America even came about, doing fine, and we'll be just fine without you, because the whole world needs us. Please, I'm up here trying to understand the propaganda I was taught about communism, because China looking better and better every day right now.
China is laughing in our face.
Yeah.
I can even have put my name on it for $12. What? Play with me. Who needs a Nike fish? It's me. Natalie.
Yeah.
On my shoes. $12. What?
Yeah, one more to go with that. I think it was the same one. Let's play it.
Cheated.
Yeah, go ahead and get them jobs.
He ain't trying to get them jobs to put people in them. He's trying to get them jobs and put robots in them. He's not trying to get them jobs with people and them companies over here that do none of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where Sandra went at? Don't you go nowhere. All this
Somebody had to call him.
She gonna call. She gonna
Somebody
call
had
him.
to call him.
She
gonna call him sugar man.
On second, she's gonna say, on second thought, Greg.
Yeah. You can meditate. You can meditate.
I had this good wine in me now. You come over and tell me what you meditating about.
They
See,
said
Sandra,
we see incense burning in the back.
Sandra, you need to come back here because a lot of this what's about to come up is for
I
you.
don't know what he's meditating on. But
He gonna be on the show next week, son.
Well, nah, because he deep down in his damn feelings. He a damn Taurus. And you know, I mean, when those type of men, because, and that was the other thing that I didn't really like about him. Because he
you contradicting yourself, Tanya.
He had too much.
You say he was the best.
Energy. He had too much feminine energy.
Oh, now you talking
Lord.
bad about
now
the
you
man.
done check all the boxes. Now you unchecking all the
come on
Those
now.
were the two damn boxes. Because if you acting like my damn auntie, you know.
Okay, we're not gonna put this man business on the street. Let's get on. Sandra, you got
y'all know. Shit, I don't give a damn about feelings.
Sandra, the man might have had a gift, and his gift, he got
What's
to know
what?
that his gift ain't for his
Holding.
gift. Listen to this next one, okay? Just listen to this.
A plum tree don't eat plums.
Listen to this.
A pear tree don't eat pears. All they get is water. Cause the fruit ain't for the tree. The fruit is for people who pass by. Your gift ain't for you, which is why you can be depressed at home and be on the phone giving other people a word that'll flip their life. Have you ever hung up the phone like, I should have told myself that? It's because your gift, Michael, ain't for you. Watch this. Wisdom is.
See, your gift, that man's gift ain't for him. That man's gift is to give it to the world. You got to know your purpose. You got to know your purpose. You want this man's gift to be something that you can look at and be so proud. This man is showing you that he's meditating. I can see you. It ain't one of them guys that every time you look, he on the corner rolling dice, losing all the rent money, the mortgage money, they can't pay the car note, they can't pay the bill. This man was doing what he was supposed to do. He checked all the boxes and he's praying to God. Just not
he wasn't
praying to that your enslavers that you so much love so much to talk about on here. That gave you that Bible that you are so into, and now here there's a man that's going to the same God in a different way, and you got a problem with him because he's not adhering to what you think.
Listen,
so that means you trying to be the man of the house.
No, Mike, Julius. When I have an issue,
be short.
I need for my man to say, "Come on, babe. Let's pray about it." I don't even know how to goddamn meditate. So what he gonna say?
Let's see if this one will do any good for you. Let's see if this one does it.
God.
Let's see if this one does anything for you. Okay. Let me know when you finish so I can play the next video.
Go ahead.
Stop putting sins in hierarchies. Amen. If you got patience for the liar, you're going to have patience for the homosexual. Nobody's talking back to nobody. I don't want to hear nobody talk back to me in here. You can't determine what group of people you're going to have grace for. If it's grace for one, it's grace for everybody. We're losing a generation because of our arrogance. What you gonna do when this person comes? I'ma love them. What you gonna do when that person comes? I'ma love them. Come on, we gotta love people. Amen. And listen to this. We can't just have love for sinners. You gotta have love for the brother or sister in church who's struggling. Because you got to struggle too. We just can't see yours, but everybody got something you're dealing with. Look down your road and say, I got mercy, I got mercy. Look down the road and tell somebody else, I don't have room to judge nobody. I'm not in a position to look down on nobody. Baby, if you only knew the stuff that God has covered and kept me from, I'm not in a position to put my mouth on nobody. Can't do that, nobody.
See, the man's struggling. Right. You wasn't even, the man meditating, trying to find God, and you telling him to get out the house.
Man,
no,
I'm gonna go. No,
I'm not gonna fall.
I'm going to that brother. I'm going to that brother church because I ain't seen nothing but women's in there, boy. Fine ass women's in that church. I'm gonna find out what church he into. Yeah. Trust me. And he right. Everybody trying to judge whether you with a man or a woman or whoever you with. That's you. We're not in the business of judging people. We leave that to God. Okay? We leave that to God. Because at the end of the day, God gonna determine who go to heaven and who go to hell. Period. So I don't have time to be judging people. I got to worry about myself.
What's up, Memphis?
Well, but once you come into the knowledge of God and you know it, I mean, because I guard my anointed. I really do. So when you just don't practice things, you don't practice it. I mean, we know that God forgives, but I can't practice it with you until you get it right. I'm not.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think you're feeling hurt.
Why don't we just bring him on the show?
Yeah, bring him on the show because I think you got your feeling hurt because you really.
Hey, Bernard. Judge Ike can get her right.
Yeah, Judge Ike. Let's tell him what Judge Ike. Come to Judge Ike courtroom.
Coming soon. Judge Ike coming soon. We're gonna have both of y'all in court on Judge Ike. Judge Ike.
You talking about James?
Ike is right. Ike is right. That's the new show.
I love James.
Hey, Jamal put up somewhere. I'm teaching my kids that water, all that. So he must be in my classroom.
And Sandra, this man is praying. I want you to listen to this here real closely, okay? Don't go nowhere like you've been doing. I want you to listen real closely.
I'm right here.
You got stop looking at. Just listen to the message. Don't listen to the messenger. Don't judge the messenger. Listen to the message. It's powerful. God gonna teach you something. He's gonna show you something, and you're gonna miss it because you're so caught up in the old traditions that your slave masters gave you.
Why come we can't say that we are God? No, Jesus, he's the only one that can say he was a God. What about when he said to the disciples, pray on this wise, our Father? Well, if he's our Father, then Jesus is the Son of God and we his brother. I'm a son too, and you a daughter too. And if a son and a daughter can grow up to be like their father, and Jesus became a son and he became a God, why come we can't? Didn't he say, I've gone forth to prepare a place for you, that where I am, you may also be? Well, he wasn't talking about going to live on cloud 9 in outer space. No. I know the scripture says that Jesus went to heaven on a cloud and he shall return in like manner, but that's not literal. That's a metaphor. That's a parable. Do you know that if you go on the NASA website right now, you can find out the speed of clouds? The lower clouds go 6 to 10 miles per hour. Higher clouds go 60 to 100 miles per hour.
Wow.
The average speed of a cloud is 60 miles per hour. If Jesus is going to heaven and he's traveling on a cloud, this is literal now, and heaven has to be beyond this galaxy. Farthest planet in our solar system is Pluto. 4,600,000,000 miles away from the sun. We're on the Earth. We're the third planet from the sun. We're 93 million miles from the sun. So if we're going to go from the Earth to heaven, we got to pass Pluto. So we got to travel at least 4,503,000,000 miles. Now, Jesus got to travel 4,503,000,000 miles on a 60-mile-per-hour cloud. By mathematics, it would take Jesus 8,569 years to get to heaven. What year are we in? 2025?
2025.
He ain't even made it to Mars yet, much less past Pluto. It's not literal. He's saying that I'm at the right hand of my Father. Look, what did he say? When you see me, you see the Father, because I and my Father are one. I'm in the Father is in me. So if he became one with God, and that means he can say, I am a God, and he said, I've gone forth to prepare a place for you, that where I am, you may also be, then he wants us to become a God too. Wow. That helped me, Brother Caleb, because the first thing we had to recite to be a registered member of the nation is something called student enrollment. Number one, the number one point gave me personally so much power that it renegotiated my whole contract with life and gave me a whole new mindset for approaching education and life period as a youngster. All through school, I had D's and F's. My senior year, I had straight A's, 4.0 GPA, and I only went to school Thursdays and Fridays. I recommend that to any young
part-time
brothers and
student,
sisters. Yeah, and I was supposed to graduate, but what was the difference?
Wow.
I learned the answer to this question. The question is in student enrollment number 1, who is the original man? And the answer is the original man is the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. So when I went back to school, if I'm the original man, the first people on the planet, that means everybody else came from me. So these white teachers that bring this test, exam, and paperwork and whatever, how can they put something in front of me as my child that I can't master as their father? So I came with a whole new mindset. Indeed. So it's imperative that there be the lifting of those pivotal passages that are found in the scripture that will give those that are students of the Bible the power not just to believe in God, but to actually become the God they say they believe in.
Hey, I'm just going to try to get Sandra to bring the guy back.
He's correct. Because in John 3:5-7, see, you have to know who you are. Because when you accept Christ as your Lord and Savior, you become spiritually reborn. So then you have the DNA of your Father, God, Christ. And if you have the spiritually DNA of your Father, you're supposed to, if I had your DNA, Julius, I would have your wide nose, gray hair at an early age, probably 2. You know, I would look like you, I would act like you. So when I became spiritually reborn, there's a couple of things that should change in me. I should start acting like my Father, looking like, sounding like my Father.
I don't want to stop you, but you cannot give a sermon. You cannot give your trial sermon here. You can't give your trial sermon, baby.
John 3:5-7. Right. You just have to know who you are.
That's
in
correct.
Christ. And that guy, he was absolutely correct.
Correct. No, you got to keep making it a little shorter. Let's get a good Christian joke.
A preacher wanted to know what his teenage son would be in his future life. So he thought he would give his son a test. He put on his son's dresser a Bible. And if the boy took the Bible, it meant he'd be a preacher. Then he put a silver dollar by the Bible. That meant he would be a banker. And then he put a bottle of whiskey, and if he took that, he's going to be a worthless drunk. And he put Playboy magazine beside those things, and if he took that, he's going to be a womanizer. The preacher hid in the closet waiting for his teenage son to come in. The teenage son came in, saw the four things, and picked them all up and carried them out. And the father said, "Dear God, the boy's going to run for Congress."
Shit. Or B. Bernard.
Dear God, the boy is gonna be Bernard.
Hey, that's a lucky boy. I'm telling you. Hey, y'all, hey, I'm telling you. Nally, they don't know. They don't know. They don't
Hey, listen.
know. Trust
I want
me,
y'all
they
to
don't
see
know.
this here because this pastor here is the model for everything. It's a little long, but I want y'all to see it, okay? You got to be able to see this. It's a little long, but take it. You know, we got another hour, so let's look
Things
at
the
it.
black church is gonna get mad at me for saying, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Man, y'all check this out.
Pastoring now one of the largest churches in Chicago, actually one of the largest churches in the nation, you know, period. But you're flying under the radar. What are you scared of? Why no television? I mean, why not go for the world?
Why no
Your message
television?
is pure.
The message is.
What are you scared of? What you scared of?
Hold on, Bishop. You making me scared of you. Hold on. Let me say this. I'm a very focused person. If you knew our testimony and you look in this building, we were only here for 9 months and then we had to move from here. We ended up going to the University of Illinois at a building that could seat 3,000. So we do 4 services on Sundays, 7:30, 9:30, 11:30, and 1:30. And he added to the church daily. So in this process, God has given us land to build.
Yes.
So I know that I have to get these people in a house. I have to stabilize them. I got to put the flag in the ground. And with that being said, I was careful because I'm saying this respectfully. I've seen some preachers and pastors deplete the funds to promote themselves, that they couldn't do the assignment that God has given these with the people. So I choose not to go on TV because I want to make sure that my people are stable in their house.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Secondly,
but I want to challenge you on firstly.
I'm okay. Okay.
Seeing that there are people who have depleted the income of the church in order to promote themselves.
Right.
They're very good. But you know that you're not going to do that.
I can't. I got to get our people.
You know you're not going to do it, right?
Right.
Right. So that's no longer an issue, a benchmark, or anything like that.
It's not. I've had television companies come after me, stations rather, and it's always like, I'd rather spend thousands going after the loss. I'd rather buy another bus. I'd rather buy another bill. I'm different, man.
I understand.
I'm different.
I understand.
I love God. I love his people.
Yeah. So you don't think that television and social media
Later on in that interview, he went on to say that there were denominations that came at him offering him the role of a bishop if he would just join their denomination. And he said, no, I ain't gonna join your denomination, man, because listen, if I joined your denomination, you gave me the bishop role, you would take credit for what God is doing, and the only one that's gonna take credit for what God is doing is him. God himself, hallelujah. Do you know how many people, especially now, out here clamoring for position, out here clamoring for leadership and wanting to be the bishop of this and can't wait there. I can't wait to put on a robe and put on a collar and be named a bishop. Do you know how many people would have jumped at the chance to be a bishop? But not this man. Do you know how many people would have jumped at the chance when those television companies and stations start calling him, requesting him, offering him time on their stations? Would have jumped at the chance. Whoa, now is my chance to be celebrity, fame, status. Do you know how many pastors would have depleted all the funds to make their dreams come true? But not this man. Not this man. See, it reminds me of when Satan took Jesus in the high mountain, and in the moment of time, he showed him all the kingdoms of the world. And he said, if you just worship me, hallelujah, I'll give you everything. And Jesus said, nah, my guy, it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, you sucker. I don't worship you, you worship me. Hallelujah. Pastor Hannah, we celebrate you, man. We honor you for loving God's people, for loving God. This is the epitome of Jeremiah 3:15 when he says, for I'll give you shepherds after my own heart. This man said, no, I got to put a stake in the ground. I got to put the flag in the ground. I got to give my people a home. Before I think about myself, I got to win the loss. I'd rather buy new buses. I'd rather put that money to the loss. Do you know how many pastors would have taken that money and said, forget the loss, forget the people. It's about me. Give me a new house. Give me a new Bentley. Give me a new plane. Yes, I'll sign the television deal. Yes, I don't care how many millions it is. Yes. And would have used the excuse that Bishop Bloom was trying to give him, that this was the ultimate evangelistic tool. No, my people come first. My people come first.
Hey, my people come first. If we could just have the pastors to think like that and stop being selfish. This man say, I'd rather, if a bishop, they name me a bishop, then that means that they name me, they control me. Only one that controls him is God. And he's going to do what he has to do for his congregation, not for everybody else. His congregation. This is a real preacher. Is your preacher doing that? If your preacher ain't doing that, then you need to get from under him. This is a real preacher here. See, everybody ain't called. God don't call those that are qualified. He qualifies those that are called. But see, y'all around here running after some fool, thinking that y'all put them on a pedestal, thinking that they God. No, not me. Yeah. I'm not going to hell thinking that the pastor that y'all worshiping is God. No, he ain't that man to me, that woman to me.
You got to watch a person in their fruits. You know, what fruits? What are your fruits? What are your fruits? You know, what I mean, you have to watch a person and their fruits.
Yeah.
You know,
what are they producing? What's coming off of that?
What are they producing?
Yeah.
And
if they, you know, all they producing is that big Rolls Royce, Mercedes that they driving, and that big house that they living in, and the congregation is going to hell. And then you got some pastors around here with 10 or 12 people in the church thinking that they got a whole congregation instead of saying, okay, let's go join this church over here. You know, some churches need to close.
Yeah. Stella's, your cousin.
Stella's church needs to close. I'm the pastor of First James over here, second St. James over here. You got 10 people in the church. You know, I understand that you're giving the word, but it's about your ego. You ain't saying, okay, let's close it. Let's join another church and let's see what we can get. No, it's about ego with a lot of these pastors. It's about
everybody who I get tired of people. Oh, God called me, and God ain't called you.
You just went. You just went.
Man, please. Man, I ain't got time for they're using what some of these preachers, what they do is they use those vulnerable people, that gonna believe everything they say, and then they grab them, and then they use them. And every last one I'm going to hell. I don't need nobody. I don't need no preacher to pray for me. I don't need nobody to pray for me. I'm going to pray for myself. Because if I'm going to pray for myself, we won't know until we go into heaven or hell until we leave this world.
You got to cross that river all by yourself.
Oh, trust me.
There ain't no preacher.
I don't need nobody telling me that, God said, man, you can't tell me what God said. I know what God said. Trust me. I know God in 8/13/1962, when they told him I wasn't going to be living past 12 o'clock. Man, please.
I had a preacher come to me one time and say, I've had some people prophesize over my life. I have. And I had a preacher come to me one day and told me, say, God told me you're going to be preaching. I said, well, I'm going to wait on God to tell me that I'll stop preaching. I had a lady stop me. I'm walking down the street. I swear to God, I'm walking down the street on Fair Street. And I'm walking down the street about 8-9 years ago. And this woman, I was walking down the street, and this woman stopped, and she called me over to an old lady and called me over to and prophesied over me. I was in church to a funeral I wasn't even going to the other day, a few months back, and the preacher just called my name out and started prophesying on me. And I'm wondering, I ain't never said nothing to this preacher before in my life. I grew up in the same neighborhood, but I didn't know it. He didn't know me. We grew up a little different, but I know what the path what God has me on. I'm not perfect, but I know what the path God has me on. So I can't let somebody like Sandra tell me that because I'm not in her Bible that that's the only way to God. I know better because see, you are not the only person that has a relationship with God because you read the Bible. And they're saying that your only way to relationship with God is to read this book. No, that's what the man
never say
that to control you. Religion is a form of control. They use it to that spiritual man you had was the blessing God sent you. You just threw him out the damn door.
No, he wasn't.
You had too many boxes.
No, he wasn't.
Man told me, you know what? The man told me, say, man, God said you're gonna be a ladies' man. No, it ain't. I already know I'm gonna be a lady man. God didn't tell you no shit like that.
No, but when you have an intimate relationship with God, you can go and seek God for yourself and ask God the intimate questions because God speaks. You don't have to wait for no pastor, nobody to give you the answers that you seek. You ask God, is Natalie supposed to be in my life? And some questions you don't have to ask God. God is not going to send you a married man. Get out of here. Stop it.
Sometimes the storm comes to clear the path, not destroy you. Bad times ain't just bad, they're sacred moments. They strip the lies, humble the ego, and force your soul to rise. That's when you stop pretending and start surrendering. That's when truth walks in dressed like you, taking the journey together. See, that's Craig Butts, wise guy.
I know Craig and his wife. Hey, y'all. But I don't like these new pastors that they're pastors today and they're apostles by next week, but whose teaching have you sat up under? And, what have you done for your community?
Sandra, everybody don't have to be taught. some can be inspired. James told you, you can't pressure people to deliver God's word the way you want them to, just because they decide to take a different route. And you have to understand that. Sometimes it's a different route that people take, but it's all leading to God, as long as they believe in God. Now, if you got a man over there that's delivering that is evil and all he thinking about is Satan, then that's something different. Throw him in the hell out the house.
But what I'm saying, Julius, is all of us, we have to mature. And you didn't become a corporal or whatever overnight. You have to sit under somebody's training. You can't become a pastor today and then all of a sudden you're being ordained as, hey, stop. You're being ordained as a apostle, and because now we know that all you wanted is a title.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Stop
Some of them buy their titles. And James is a wise man. James say, I'm from Damascus. James is a wise
Hey, you ain't trying to get that contract right.
I like what Ivan said. Watch out for them preachers. They either pray for you or pray on you.
Well, I think that.
And why preachers got such a bad name, Natalie?
Well, I mean, because of that, because people have been preyed on and preyed upon, used and misused and all of that. And people's agendas, people's heart weren't right. But that's what I was going to say. Like, when you come across a pastor such as the man on the clip that you showed, that is a pure demonstration of on bended knee with calloused hands. He's working. The stuff he was talking about doing is the hard part of church. That's the hard part of church.
That is.
And people don't want to do the work. The what they say, the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few.
Mm-hmm.
No, the remnant. There's a remnant, and so when you see the remnant, if you have a discernment of spirit, then you should be in the right place. But see, people get that word love confused. Like you played that clip earlier, you love on people. Yes, you love on them, but you tell them the truth.
Any pastor that tells the ushers to close the door and lock the doors, I'm getting the hell out of this church and they never coming back. Any pastor that tell me, oh, we ain't collected enough in that collection, pass the bowl around again, I'm getting out of their church. Because see, you are all about money. Yes, it takes money to do what needs to be done, but close some of them churches down and come together and unite, and then you can have money to pay for all the stuff you need to pay. You're too egotistic to consider that, because you're not thinking about the church, you're not thinking about the people. All you're thinking about is yourself.
Well, I'll tell you another thing. What did that man say? What did that man say, Julius? He had to go from one church to another church that held 3,000 people. 3,000 people. He had to move. When it's not a matter of how much money you take up an offering. When you're doing what God needs you to do, and the resources to do it, God will make sure you get those resources.
Yes.
And it has nothing to do with taking up an offering.
And I want y'all to know that we're not here bashing pastors. That's not what we do.
I'm not bashing.
But some pastors need to be battered, and some of them need to be bashed, and some of them just need to be talked about, because if we don't do it, who else? We can't just see something and not say something.
But you also got to remember, a lot of those pastors came up in that church doctrine. They came up from children.
Right.
So that's that what they're doing is they're playing.
That's Saunders' pastor.
No, sir. Let me explain something to you. I have honorable pastors.
Well, I want to come to his church when we come to Houston.
Yeah, we give back to the community. We're in the community. But God says, woe to the person or people that turn any of my people, that hinder any of my people. So the people in the church are not going to hell. It's that person, it's that pastor.
Right, because he's leading them astray. Listen to this one here. It ain't just us. This is the sentiment all across the country. And see, it's just some of us that are woke and don't mind saying it. See, some people are mad because I say what I say. Some pastors don't like me. I don't give a damn whether they like me or not. I'm not here to be liked by them. That's not what I'm here. That's not my purpose, to be liked by any pastor. That's not my purpose. The pastor can't help me cross that river. When it's time for me to go, I got to cross that river. So I do what I do, and whatever God inspires me to do, that's what I do. Whatever God inspires this mouth to say, that's what I say. You might not like it, but you will respect it.
Pastors, please get it together. You guys should not be worried about the affairs of what's going on with the mayor or the business administration when you don't even have the faculties to go out into the public and witness to people, but yet you can tell them, bring you all the tithes into the storehouse and that there'll be meat in my house. But in the meanwhile, we got people like Mr. Leroy that's hungry. We got people that's going homeless left and right. And that's not every pastor. You know, there's always one bad apple in the bunch that'll make you look at the whole tree as being polluted and poisoned. You can't offer me filet mignon and put shit on it and tell me it's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. You guys got to do better. And I'm not even talking about the council. I'm talking about the pastors now. And I'm a preacher's kid, so I could go there like that. And I'm going to go there like that. And I don't care who gets offended. Pastors, stay in your lane. Pastor Lagarde, we thank God for you because you actually be out there in the streets with us. But these other fake Negro pastors and Patterson that do nothing to bring people off the streets to get them to get salvation, and you're only strong in the four walls. You're not strong in the street. We don't see you in the first ward. We don't see you praying for people. All we do is see you fake prophesying on Sunday mornings. Knock it off. Stay out of the business administration. Stay out of Andre's business. He's already polluted and corrupted enough. For the pastors, you already know you're going to have to give an account to God. We expect this from people in the street. But there ought to be more spiritual responsibility, more spiritual morality. Get your shit together.
Thank you. Thank you. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
You see, you're thinking that that's disrespectful to those pastors that's doing all this stuff. That woman is just speaking her mind. Oh, she shouldn't have cursed. That's the only way you're going to hear. Sometimes that's the only way you're going to hear.
You know, preaching the good news and offering the salvation. I mean, that is our commandment. You know, if you are not going out and helping people to gain salvation, you are not doing anything.
Right.
Period.
So what is a pastor? What is a pastor?
They're a shepherd. They're a leader.
Yeah. Do you go okay, prime example. So do you have to go to school to learn how to be a leader, or it's in you? Because I ain't never went to no school to learn how to be a leader. It's in me. If you do the right thing and treat people right and stop always robbing people. That's why when I was in Savannah, I ain't see, and they say, hey, I'm Pastor so-and-so. I walked away. They done destroy the name of pastor. I walk away because the first thing you think about is negativity. And that's sad to say. That's sad to say, but it's true. If somebody say, hey, you go Pastor Brown, oh, because you know they taking things away from our people. And I'm saying like all color people. Everybody who say they're a pastor ain't a pastor. And you got to watch who you follow. I'm telling you, you know. And then we got kids that's watching us. Y'all don't realize kids watch us. Kids pick up what we give. And if you give a negativity, they're going to pick that up at the end of the day. But you got most of these pastors, you know, and I'm going to say it, and I don't care who get mad. You got most of these pastors going to stand up on the pulpit, going to tell you this and that, and then they're going to end the closet with the other pastors. You know what I'm saying? It's fact. Let's call it like it is. Stop all the bullshitting. Stop all the bullshitting and stop leading these people to hell. And people stop following these pastors to hell.
Bernard, I think that it's the children watching the fakeness. It's not the, it's the fakeness, because how can you tell, how can you preach when you're scared to go out of your four walls and give to the needy for real? I mean, because Jesus was given to the needy and he was turning over tables and all of this in the synagogue that they had done made a den of thieves,
Sandra, we can't have you preaching in that, okay?
I'm just saying.
You gotta know, you gotta stop.
All of these churches are falling off these days and they're dying because the kids are watching and they see it's fake.
All right, and I got 7 more videos to play.
This bullshit right here.
This is what you need to worry about.
I'm gonna say there's only 2 things in life that you worry about: whether you're healthy or whether you're sick. If you're healthy, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But if you're sick, you got 2 things to worry about: whether you're gonna get better, whether you're gonna get worse. You get better, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But if you get worse, you got 2 things to worry about: whether you're gonna live, whether you're gonna die. If you live, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But if you die, you got 2 things: whether you're going to heaven, whether you're going to hell. If you go to heaven, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But if you go to hell, you got 2 things to worry about: original or extra crispy. That's
That was good.
Hey, that was the best one on right now. That was the best one, boy. You got nothing to worry about.
You got 2 things to worry about.
That's it.
And that's one that y'all should play every day. See, you got 2 things to worry about. That's a good pastor that.
Tanya, you got 1 thing you need to worry about. Go get your man back, Tanya. Go get your man back.
I will not. I will not.
Wait, no, you.
Here's the news reality show. Ricky, what's the boy name? Dave Chappelle doing a skit for us. This is our joke of the week.
Weekday and salutations, ladies. My name is Silky Johnson. A little bit about me: I'm a purveyor of precious goods and services, i.e., bitches.
I'm sorry, are you some sort of sex trafficker?
I don't do traffic. I take helicopters, bitch. And as for you, that coat right there looks like you're skinned a grouch.
Horrible bitches make horrible decisions.
And you, tangerine's not your color and there's something in your belly button. Made you look. And as for this one here.
Oh, I know you ain't talking to me with your chipmunk looking at.
Chipmunk. Do me a favor and hand this woman another balloon.
Ow!
Sassy mouth. Good day, ladies.
Let's meet our last guy, Larry. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up before I pass away.
They brought Ashley Larry out, Lord Jesus.
Oh boy.
I love Dave Chappelle.
Yeah,
can make anything funny.
That Dave is crazy. I don't know what, boy.
He is. I love Dave Chappelle.
I had to give y'all a little bit of laughter after.
And he ain't no sellout either.
After Sandra's sermons tonight.
Whatever. I'm just spitting truth.
You might need to go on Pop the Balloon, boo.
Yeah. That way God telling you to go ahead and meet that man.
Yeah, Pop the Balloon.
No, he not.
Okay, y'all listen to this.
Y'all, did y'all hear about 17 people have came up missing in Atlanta after they did an application on Indeed and was offered an interview? They went to that interview and no one ever heard from them ever since. This is scary and we got to be careful. Well, everybody got to be careful. If you applying on Indeed, be careful. Because y'all know I went to the Book of the Face and I searched this, right? Because everything get talked about on the Book of the Face. And when I searched this up, it's so many posts talking about how people are going on these interviews that they're getting off of Indeed and they're not being seen after they go to those interviews. Can't nobody find them. So for the mothers and fathers, or hell, even if you ain't a mother or father, you probably out there looking for you a job. Be careful letting your children apply on Indeed, and you be careful with applying on Indeed. I remember back in the day, you used to get a job off Indeed like that. Now they using it to kidnap people.
That was our public service announcement for the week, y'all.
Really?
Not need to even be said. That's our public service announcement for the week. Y'all watch yourself when you're applying on Indeed.
Yeah, well.
Now, this is for all you people out there, my wife included. This is for y'all. Y'all just don't understand. Y'all want Gucci and Gabbana, whatever that is, and whatever the name of that thing is. Y'all want Ralph Lauren, and y'all want Brahmin, and y'all want all them other people, all the expensive silk suits like Bernard got that $5,000 suit on just right there. He brought it, Italian suit, but he knew they made it in China and put an Italian label in it.
$10.
Hey, go ahead.
Probably should have took this app away when they had the chance, because the Chinese manufacturers just hit them folks with the Uno reverse. And right now, the Chinese manufacturers are the best content on TikTok. They said, oh, tariffs, you say. Oh, okay. American people, y'all said y'all like New Balance, Adidas, Nike. Bet. Oh, yeah. The manufacturer is such and such, located at such and such in Guangzhou. They do shipping within this time. And here are the products. I've seen the manufacturers for every brand anybody could possibly think of, from shoes and apparel to beauty products. One of the Chinese manufacturers said, oh yeah, you know how you pay such and such $100 for Chanel beauty products? Well, we only make them for $10. Listen, I don't know how this tariff thing is going to play out, but the way that the Chinese manufacturers are playing their hand, absolutely well done. 10s across the board. I told y'all in the years that I lived in China, I got everything under the sun because everything is pretty much made.
Yeah. Y'all go buying all that stuff and thinking it's expensive and it say made in Italy. No, it was made in China and they sent it to Italy. They put the tag in it. And now you think it is made in Italy. It wasn't. Made in the USA, some of that stuff ain't. They make it over in China, they ship it over here, they put a tag in it.
Yeah.
For more than damn 50 years. Every damn thing from your socks, your drawers, this tracksuit, you look in it, made in China.
That's correct.
So I don't know what is up with what's up with some of these black men.
Look at Bernard. Bernard.
Yeah, that's made in China.
Some of these black men done messed up their algorithm. Oh, that was another reason why me and him couldn't be together, because he was a Trump supporter.
Oh, well, you should have done
that. You should have labeled that. He going straight to hell. What are we talking about? Move on.
I'm telling you.
He was a post office worker and he was former military. And had the utter gall to be a Trump supporter with his black self. I said, are you it?
Well, those people are the ones that made Trump who is, and Trump is showing them I didn't care about y'all. What y'all fools voted for me for? That's what he's showing them.
And then had the nerve to tell me, about Trump gonna bring jobs back to the United States. I looked at him. It took everything I had not to call him, you dumb bastard. I was trying to be nice.
Well, you need to bring him on the show still so we can ask him.
That's right, because the early part of the show at 8 o'clock, you say he checked all the boxes. Now you say he didn't check no boxes.
No, it was that. It was that.
No, she wasn't talking about that box, Bernard.
She was talking about one box in particular.
I was talking about,
the box.
The real box. Gift boxes and
the box.
And
the box.
Other boxes.
The box. Oh, okay.
But when I thought about the fact that really you wanted a 20%, really?
Hey, this is for you here, Sandra.
So I'm starting not to really care about Trump on the racial front anymore, because his attempts to cure us of wokeness is only going to cure us of whiteness. Like Pete Hegseth has done more to damage white male credibility than any DEI course of video I can make. Fascists is out here fumbling. I'm like, didn't racists used to be smarter than this? Like, did Elon Musk think that only Nazis bought Teslas? And no more arguing with MAGA. Let them argue with the prices of goods and services when them tariffs hit. Now, don't get it wrong. It's not that there's nothing to worry about. It's just that when you know Black history and how far we've come to even get this, my ancestral DNA, the things that I tap into make light work of these bozos easy. Like comparing Trump to Hitler is unfair to Hitler. When you really understand the broad base of support that Hitler had, his basically 100% popularity, there was no resistance. There was the fact that he was actually intelligent enough to capture their intellects, the fact that he was an ideologue, the fact that like we hadn't traversed this ground before and there was no widespread resistance in Nazi Germany to the Nazis after they obtained power, and the fact that Germany was in a dire state when Hitler ascended, way worse than compared to the state that like our economy is now in America. It's just not the same conditions, and we've learned too many lessons before, and the opposition is too vocal. In other words, at least he was competent. Like had Pete Hegseth been a general under Hitler and made this kind of mistake, like Hitler would have made him face a firing squad. Once again, I'll say, it's not that there's nothing to worry about, but when you factor in a broad sense, the lack of support, not only at home, but globally, when you put into context the fact that like, not only is there resistance at home, but they can't get their act together, it's a matter of time. One thing you do for your state of mind is start thinking globally and understand that like, if your perspective stays stuck in America, you're going to have your peace stolen every time. The fascist fumble has just begun, and I'm going to have a good old time watching these boys destroy themselves. Y'all keep your head up. Theo E.J. Wilson. Till next time.
Well,
that everything he said, true. I giggle every day when I see one of these damn farmers talking about, I just regret it. God damn it. And I'm giggling even more when I see the Cubans down in Florida and that one that accidentally got sent to Venezuela and now they won't let him out of the prison. And he was a Trump supporter. Boy, don't you just want to clap your butt cheeks together or something? I don't know. They wrote a whole song. I will vote for Donald Trump.
Yeah. You get what you vote for.
That's right.
Exactly.
You get you know.
We couldn't have wrote this story better.
Nah.
I mean, who could have done it? Tyler Perry couldn't have done it.
Yeah.
I mean,
and what's so crazy, the best ain't yet to come.
It really is. You know.
See, I think something is going on worldwide that they haven't been really telling us, because see, Africa has been getting ready for a while now, and there's certain things that they just didn't tell us, and you know, for the things that's going on, and you got to pay attention to the world stage, not just what's going on here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
either the Martians are coming and they trying to get right, and I don't know what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
And trying to put you in a position not to have any type of authority or any type of power. I don't know what I mean. Serious now. When I talk Martians, I'm just talking about people not like us. And y'all got to believe that there's other people, not just us here, or either there are things going on in the world on another stage that, look at this thing. Africa has been getting ready.
Yo, why do you keep trying to kill this man? After now 20 failed assassination attempts on the president of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traoré, I now know why they're calling him the most important black man on the planet. He answers the question, what would happen if Africa just thugged out, took its own resources by force, and distributed them equitably among their population without corruption? Well, he did that. And now they're mad about it. And now after just 2 years in charge, he's got a list of accomplishments that put other African leaders to shame. Dude literally stopped the export of Burkina Faso's gold to Europe. Increased productivity, taking Burkina Faso's GDP from 18.8 billion to 22.1 billion dollars. Then the dude banned French military exercises in Burkina Faso. Then he kicked out French media and French troops. Bro built new railroads, new highways. He invested in hundreds and hundreds of tractors for their farming capacity. He got brand new high quality seeds for the farmers to produce so that they can feed themselves. And he banned them weird ass British powdered wigs they be wearing in the parliament and court. He was like, no more of that. We African, and that just looks strange on y'all. And now he's spearheading the alliance of the Sahel states between Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, because these are all formerly French colonized places. They speak French, and they just decided we gonna defend and protect ourselves, create a block, and trade with each other. Holla bad. Listen, this is leadership. So yeah, France acting like a jealous ex. Now that they see the one they abused doing good, they want to intervene with force. And here's how it plays into the greater picture. Because, in case you haven't noticed, the world profits from dirt, cheap African minerals. But the Burkina Faso and the Sahel states show that, number one, we can kick out colonizers, and number two, we gonna make y'all pay fair market prices for the resources within our dirt. That means that this might start a domino effect in Africa. Some are calling it the Ibrahim effect, and it's already taken place because young folks all over the continent is calling out for more leadership like Ibrahim Traoré. Low key, us black Americans could use some more leadership like that too. African leadership and black American leadership suffered the same problem. The OG original leaders who really was about the people got killed off. Our Dr. King and Malcolm X got killed off. Their Patrice Lumumba and Thomas Sankara got killed off. And then a bunch of sellouts and greedy ass mooches and leeches have taken over and abused the people's finances and faith. And there needed to be somebody to stand on business actually for the people with brute force against the colonizer and benevolence with their own people. And that is the example that our brother is setting in Burkina Faso. This means that we could be turning over a new leaf as a people if we follow this man's example, because it's like, what is white supremacy really but an evolutionary force for those who have been subject to it to overcome? And so when you're talking about evolutionary forces, you have to ask yourself, what is this force trying to make me? And the faster you get to that end product, the faster that pressure dissolves. So like, why did Africa fall? It fell partially because of its openness, because we had a kind of like Dr. Kingian way of looking at the world, and that everybody's our brother and we want to be benevolent with folks. Well, that works with folks who have that consciousness. But if they don't have that consciousness, you have to adapt the behavior necessary to meet the challenge to preserve your own life. That's what the Malcolm X's of the world were trying to teach us. But they got assassinated before they could adapt the philosophy into hard power. Some places of the continent, they did get really forceful military leaders, right? But then they went too far into the other direction and started exploiting and dominating their own people out of greed. Nah, the pendulum got to balance. You got to ride the center. You got to be Martin Luther King with your brother and Malcolm X to the other. So this brother, Ibrahim Traoré, steps up and he was like, let me learn the lessons from history in order to make me effective. I got to be benevolent with my people, but I got to be effectively militaristic enough to protect the beautiful thing that I'm building. And the sooner we get there, following this cat's example, humble yourself, be man enough to say I can learn from him, then the sooner that we get to where we need to be outside of this whole white supremacy dynamic. Because I don't know about you, but I'm done with that. My name's Theo EJ Wilson. Like, follow, and share. Tell me what you think in the comments. I love bag.
The most important black man on the planet. He's doing what the preachers here need to be doing. He's doing what the black leaders here need to be doing. You know, you have to be able to have pride in yourself. You have to be able to know that you need to build within. You know, we steady trying to build somebody else that we are forgetting about everybody behind us. You know, it's just a shame. We're the only people on the planet that do that, though. We care about somebody else more than we care about ourselves.
Yep. And you know, for so many centuries, you know, as long as I've been living, the narrative has been that Africa is, you know, a depressed country, and all they ever show us is, you know, just the negative. But if you go to Lagos, if you go to Nigeria, you know, they're moving and shaking, and they don't show that part of Africa. But I do feel like the same way you feel, Jew, that Africa is doing behind the scenes. They getting ready, you know. So Trump can play funny if they want, but yeah.
And the key word he said too was humble. Got to be humble, you know. And this country, see what this country doing is they showing their hands. They showing their hands. The other country ain't showing you shit. They're just preparing for what they need to prepare for. And see, we got these fools up there thinking they running stuff, but they ain't running nothing. All they doing is destroying it. Now they want to get in the street that don't look like us. Now they want to protest. Now they want to do really? Come on. We're sitting back, we calm, we cool and collected. Like Drew said last week, we calm, collected, and then when it's time for us to strike, we'll strike. But y'all go ahead and do what y'all got to do. You know what I'm saying? You go right ahead.
I'm learning boots on the ground.
You know. Now, it doesn't hit my door. Okay. Now you know what. Now you know what kind of door we was watching for 400 years. Now y'all watching it. I'm just saying.
If somebody don't check this man, it's gonna hit everybody's door after a while. It's coming. If you don't think so, and you sitting back content and complacent, stand by. It's coming. You ain't got to worry about it.
The United States Justice, they are the weakest. Oh my God, I ain't never seen.
And the Congress people, they put the Supreme Court there to rule the way they wanted to, but these Congress people are not doing what Trump should have been thrown out of office. Like I said, I like Trump, and I like him because of the bold rashness that he's had. That he knows that there are a bunch of cowards in this country, and he knows that if he ran, he said he would run as a Republican because they're stupid. You know, and so when you can realize that, then I like a person who can see that, because I've always said the Republicans don't have no compassion. They don't care about nobody but money, and it's the only thing that they care about. Democrats just don't have no backbone.
Yeah, I'm tired of us playing nice. It's too. You see the clock?
Yeah, I know. I had a little bit more time tonight, and I didn't know whether y'all had any or not. But we had one other video about Obama, and if y'all want to see it, we could see that, or we could go ahead.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I love my Obama.
You see?
Okay. Well, here it is. It's kind of long now, but you know.
Under President Obama, the high school graduation rate in this country hit 83%. That's the highest it has ever been in the history of this country. When President Obama took office in 2009, the country was in an economic freefall, plunging into an economic abyss. Unemployment hit 10%. Unemployment is now at 4.7%. Under President Obama, we have had 82 straight months of private sector job growth. That is the longest streak ever in the history of our country of consecutive months in which there have been job growth and not job losses. Under President Obama, we put a rover on Mars. Under President Obama, we have had the first drop in the federal prison population in decades. Under President Obama, after a concerted effort by his administration, homelessness among American veterans dropped by half. Under President Obama, 16 countries around the globe gave up every last ounce of their highly enriched uranium, taking away the risk that it could be stolen or misused to assemble the core of a nuclear weapon or to make a dirty bomb. President Obama convened biannual nuclear security summits for the first time in our country to convince other nations to get rid of their loose nuclear material, and 16 of them did that completely. Under President Obama, your credit card company is no longer allowed to raise your interest rate without notifying you. Under President Obama, if you work for a federal contractor, that company that you work for can no longer fire you just because you're gay or trans. Under President Obama, our country's dependence on foreign oil plummeted. Today, on the last day of the Obama administration, the CIA published the final update to its online document file that it calls Bin Laden's bookshelf. It's images and translations of all the documents that they took out of Bin Laden's compound in Pakistan when Navy SEALs were able to go through it all in 2011. We all now have public access to the complete contents of Bin Laden's bookshelf because President Obama in 2011 ordered the Navy SEALs into Pakistan on that mission that killed Bin Laden. Under President Obama, we got our nation's first chief technology officer. Under a deal engineered by President Obama, Syria got rid of its chemical weapons. For everything else wrong in Syria, Bashar al-Assad had a huge chemical weapons arsenal. Under Barack Obama, it was handed over and destroyed, certified destroyed by international observers. Under President Obama, the U.S. government banned torture by U.S. personnel in all circumstances. Under President Obama, a U.S. embassy opened in Cuba. We started to normalize relations between our two countries after a half century of a frozen, failed Cold War standoff. President Obama overturned the ban on scientific research using stem cells. President Obama upped by billions of dollars the resources available for mental health care in the VA. The Obama administration was the first administration ever to voluntarily release the lists of people who visited the White House. First presidency to ever do that. On marriage equality, President Obama did a miraculous thing among politicians. He changed his mind. And under this president, gay couples finally got all the same options as straight couples. You can date, you can get married, you can get divorced, you can live in sin. No more excuses, you guys. Under this president, the FDA started regulating tobacco, which means that cigarette companies, for the first time, have to actually tell you what they put in their cigarettes. When President Obama took office, the deficit was about 10% of our GDP. It is now about 3% of our GDP. Under President Obama, banks have to face stress tests so they can no longer take the whole economy down with them when they collapse because of their own risky practices. Under President Obama, banks can no longer use your money that you deposit in that bank to make risky bets for their own profits. After 9/11, the previous administration built a government registry that targeted Muslim men. Under President Obama, that registry was scrapped amid fears that the next administration might re-up it. President Obama cracked down on the scam for-profit colleges that happily took the money that you borrowed with your student loans, but then didn't give you an education in exchange for that money. The Obama administration shut down the bullpucky accreditor that said those colleges were real colleges when they were not. Under President Obama, solitary confinement was banned for juveniles serving time in federal prison. Under President Obama, our secret overseas prisons got shut down. Under the previous administration, when the remains of U.S. service members were flown home in flag-draped caskets to the air base at Dover, that was a secret and there were no cameras allowed. Under President Obama, that secrecy order was undone. And now, under President Obama, the government will pay travel expenses for the families of fallen soldiers to be there when their loved ones remains arrive on that tarmac. Under President Obama, the Don't Ask, Don't Tell ban was repealed in the military, as was the ban on transgender soldiers serving openly. And all combat positions were open to women. President Obama arguably saved Medicare. He made Medicare solvent for years to come because he slowed down the growth of healthcare costs. That is what was eating that program. President Obama also inarguably saved the U.S. auto industry. He saved the U.S. auto industry and reorganized GM. They paid back their bailout money, and American automakers are now among the largest, most profitable car companies in the world, and millions of American jobs tell that tale. Tens of billions of dollars that used to get paid to the banks for writing student loan programs instead now go to Pell Grants to help people go to college who otherwise couldn't afford it. Oh, and you can't be denied health insurance because of a pre-existing condition. And you can't be charged more for your health insurance because you're a woman. And your health insurance can't put a lifetime cap on what you're allowed to need because of your health care. And 20 million Americans got health insurance because of President Obama.
Now,
Case closed.
did anybody ask you about what President Obama did? Then just tell them what he did. You know, y'all can call me and get that video right now.
Child, so many people I know, Black people too. All he did was did things for the gay people. Really? Really? That's all he did. So such uninformed people. That just makes me sick.
Yeah. And he did all that. And the Republican had the Senate in the House. And he did all that. Period. You got to think about that. You know.
And everything he did, Trump is trying to destroy overnight.
Yeah.
Throwing shoes at him and everything. You know,
my people perish for lack of knowledge.
Exactly.
So,
because in spite of he wasn't successful because he was successful in spite of what they were trying to do.
I would like the Cheeto Man to make it so he can run again. So Barack can run again.
Barack would never run again.
Yes, he would to get the
No, I don't think so.
I think
he want to keep his
for the sake of the country, I believe
No, if he want to,
I think he would, and he would win by a landslide.
Mm-hmm.
If he wants to keep his marriage, he would never run again.
Well, some things are more important than the marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing is more important than your
marriage. I think Michelle would be down
God
for that.
has for you, that is for you, Sandra. Ain't God?
But I'm saying,
I believe Michelle would be down for that.
God didn't send you here and tell you that, oh, when you get married, that's the only thing you have to worry about. No, you just said that whatever God has for you, you're going to do. It don't matter whether that man wants you to do it or anybody else. So don't contradict yourself here. You said it. If God leads that man to do it, then that's what he needs to do. He can't worry about whether Michelle Thomas, you know,
well, we're gonna need some. We're gonna need some damn body after this.
Yeah, you're gonna need a equalizer.
I know it.
Thank you, James. But you know, I don't see him. Well, first of all,
I don't know about all that. That's his comment. You got to be naked for me to recognize. I don't know what he's talking about. You got to be butt naked for me to recognize you.
Anyway.
There's a difference between him and me. Totally opposite.
You know what? What I don't see is, I don't see them able to overturn the Constitution.
Well, I
to allow him to do it.
wouldn't the Constitution have to be changed regarding the term limits? No, they don't have we don't have a Constitution no more. If you look at what's happening now, there can't be a Constitution. The Supreme Court is letting him do whatever the hell he want to do. So who's the judge of what is constitutional and what's not? The Supreme Court. So if they tell him, well, yeah, you can do what you want to do, and by all means, they're telling him, but from all we're looking at right now, they're telling you can do whatever the hell you want to do. So there is no Constitution. Why are we still talking about the Constitution? Trump has thrown the Constitution out the door. They told him to bring back somebody the other day, and he said, okay. And then he went to the White House, talked to those racists that's backing him, and then came back and said, we don't have that authority to do that. But you had the authority to ship him out. You just had the president of that country sitting in the Oval Office. Trump is caught up on dictators, and that's what he loves. He loves, and that's what he wants to be. And if they, and for some reason, I don't know what it is, they're trying to give him that power. He's gonna drive me and Natalie to drinking.
Well, what do y'all think about the fact that
y'all already drinking?
What do y'all think about the fact that he is trying to ship U.S. citizens for real,
Yeah.
in prisons off to Venezuela?
That'll wake people up. Soon as a few things gonna wake people up. Getting your loved ones shipped out of the country when they shouldn't be, and then getting your funds cut off. Social Security, SSI, veterans, all these things that he's already going after. When they start doing it, yeah.
Please be clear that everything they're doing is to. I know about the immigration and all that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what they're doing to our people. Everything that he's doing is setting us up or setting themselves up to control, to destroy, and to exploit Black people. Period. That's what he's doing. He's literally setting up things for Blacks to be thrown out the military. He's literally trying to change laws so that Black people will be facing steeper prison sentences. He's doing all of these things right now that's just setting up and laying the groundwork to shove his slaves where he wants his slaves and kill the rest of them. That's literally what he's doing. And it's unfortunate, but I know my bucket list is real clear. Passport, and I'm trying to go to Burkina Faso. I'm trying to meet the president over there. I'm trying to, I'll work on that end of it. I don't care. I'm sick of this. It don't make no sense.
All right, people. We appreciate y'all. Great show.
Well, sexy Nellie's coming.
About 23 minutes over our time.
Meet her at the airport.
We're gonna get out of here, y'all.
All right, y'all be good. Sonya, get that man back, girl.
Sonya on the phone now.
That's what she on the phone now. He called me. That's why she buffering. Good night.
Good night.
I gotta go take an allergy tablet.
All right.
Like that.